You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey folks, it's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Lady sings that makes official. Welcome to 16 years, 2,400 episodes of the Chris Voss Show, because we had nothing better to do. 16 years ago, we were just like, yeah, what should we do, eh? And we were like, you should make a podcast, eh? And then, so we did. Anyway, guys, refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss, one on the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may buy advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today, an amazing young man on the show, Timothy Ward, joins us. He is the author of a book that will be coming out in a few more weeks called The Goat Within. You can pre-order it on his website now, Timothy J. Ward. And he is the, let me see if I can blow this up. He is the CPT founder of Livestrong. We're going to get into what that is and what it's about and all that good stuff. As the founder of the Fitness Quadrant System and creator of Modified Interval Training, a proven strategic method designed to build strength, energy, and longevity for life, Timothy Ward has been at this as an author, speaker, and elite performance coach. He empowers not only CEOs and high-achieving professionals, but also moms, dads, and middle-aged individuals from all walks of life who were ready to fight back against aging and reclaim their health. He works with clients around the world through a high-touch online coaching model. Welcome to the show, Timothy. How are you?
I am good. I am great. Great to be here.
Great to have you. Give us your .coms, .nets, wherever you want people to find you on the interwebs, get to know you better.
Sure. We are at fitnessquadrant.net. It's a new upgraded website we just put out, actually, and lots of great information on there, some freebies, some things that really can enlighten people as to modern day fitness practices, longevity, all of the things that you see really bubbling up in conversations everywhere now. And it's a very misunderstood science. So we're trying to bring what we do in our little regional ecosystem. We started spreading out online about a year ago, and it has just been an unbelievable ride, helping people really understand this stuff in a way that they can weave into their life and really move the needle for themselves. And I call it a job that I love and a job that I hate sometimes. We'll get into that while we talk. But
I think that sounds like the typical entrepreneur journey, right? Maybe. I don't know.
For sure. It's
It's a love and hate. In fact, our prior guest earlier today, he said, what was the word that he used that was so funny? The struggle, I think it was, or the suffrage. I think he said the suffrage. He said, entrepreneur is about suffering. So you've got to be able to endure the suffering. I'm like, that sounds great. Sign me up.
It's funny. I mean, that's a great point. It's something that, even though I've worked with just several hundred people, much of it is when I see the little incremental progress they make. I know what's coming over, a month or 2 or 3 months, certainly, but they actually empower me, and I let them know that at some point, because the part that I love is really taking somebody that's struggling with their health and fitness, all those things that has always been a huge topic in our society. But when they really start to make the improvements, I call that fitness momentum. And we talk about that with them when we onboard them, and we have a very heavy onboarding process that is incredibly enlightening to them. So that's really what keeps me going. For the most part, is really the the success of people. Not all of them are successful. You know, we're an authentic platform where we really don't try to be fancy. We really get down to the reality of what's happening in society. There's a big nosedive into decay. You just look at the statistics. I talk about that a little bit in the book. And you know, you look at like gym memberships. This is a graph that I have in my book. They've really grown over the last 10 or 12 years. They're up millions, but all the disease, all of the, you know, problems with inflammation and gut health and losing muscle mass as you turn 50, 60 years old, it is on the rise. It just, the numbers don't make sense. And there's a reason for that. There's a complete reason for all that stuff. So it's a really,
in your mind, interesting
business that really can motivate me as much as I'm the one, you know, getting people really to understand the right way. So,
well, so give us an overview of what's inside the book. You refer to the goat and stuff like that. Give us some of the maybe aspects or lead-offs in the book.
Yeah. So over my 30-year journey in this entire industry, I see really a lot of people, they want to be healthy and strong and fit and all that stuff, right? But they suffer. They really suffer because
they're entrepreneurs.
They're all entrepreneurs.
Do that callback joke, yeah. They really don't have the knowledge base, and you know, if you really think about the whole fitness industry, it's a, you know, $80 billion industry, you know, bigger if you look at worldwide, and it is unregulated. Here's a $10 membership. Go have at it. Go get fit and healthy. Or a doctor. Oh, you need to strength train. You know, these are, you know, great suggestions, but you're talking about a massive amount of science with health, fitness, exercise science, kinesiology. So I liken it to, hey, if I gave you a key to the fighter jet over there, right? What's the F-35 or something like that?
Yeah, like I go to New York City with my kids and we go to the I forget the aircraft carrier there on the West Side Highway. And I look at those things, I'm like, man, let me give you a key to that thing. Go fly it. You know, people would look at you like, what, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the human body is much more sophisticated and complex than that fighter jet. And when you start to really think about it, there is definitely a narrowing of the right way to do things when it comes to nutrition and your workouts, and building an ecosystem is what we call it. And once people understand those points, the picture starts to become clearer and clearer, not just how they're going about it now and not really getting any results, but how they can really start to understand how they leverage their time and become really efficient. The stories I have with some of my clients are absolutely amazing. They actually work out less and they get much greater results because of the science and the techniques we incorporate with what we do. So that's cool. It's very unique what we do, and it's really treated me well in terms of some of my goals of, you know, helping people and get them lined up properly to, you know, live longer, live a higher quality life. All of those markers become front and center when we're in our 50s, 60s, certainly our 70s. So,
oh yeah. Like we were talking about before the show, I took and got into testosterone therapy a year and a half ago, and boy, it changed my life. I didn't know I was living in some massive brain fog, and so it became painfully aware at that point that you know, my body was, you know, getting old. It's starting to smell bad too. But that's probably because I only bathe once a year. It's a religion. Don't ask. Anyway, it's a new cult I joined this week.
I want to know about that cult.
Yeah, it's fun. It pays you 10%, but you don't bathe. It's from the utility company, the water utility.
Yeah.
Anyway, so tell us about what some of the special sciences you talk about. I notice there's peptide therapy on your website. What is this special science? Are we talking steroids? Are we talking peptides? What are we talking?
So peptides are really an emerging super supplement, I would say. They are naturally occurring in our body, but we as we age, we start losing the production of them. Just like everything else, testosterone levels, growth hormone, there's a whole breakdown list. And I do write about this in the book. I call it the currency of the human body, right? We hit an age where we stop producing those hormones, right? So that is part of the degradation of life. And it's really caused by a few different things. The front end of my book, it's funny that the focus group that read it in New York, when they got back to me early on, they were like, wow, we did not expect the book to be this way. We thought it was all going to be fitness stuff. So the first, I'd say maybe 80 pages of the book is about the toxic world we live in and how even the greatest workouts, right, if you're consistent and you're really doing most of the things properly, which not many people do anyway, that's another story, it's brought to its knees with poor nutrition. And here's the kicker. The mass-produced food that we buy in the grocery stores and even our health food stores are laden with toxic substances, seed oils, fake sugars, fake, trans fats, food dyes, all the stuff you hear. Like JFK has been, in my eyes, really a great champion of it. I'm glad to see that, in DC, there are now some light being shown on these issues. And it really is responsible for a serious breakdown of society when you really start to understand how little by little all of these toxic substances that are in most of our foods, it's in 85% of the foods in the grocery stores. Wow. They are thieves. They incrementally start to steal your health, your quality of life, your longevity. And that's the first thing I do with our clients. We have modules, we break it down for them. And it's eye-opening for them, as it was for me, over the decades of really understanding this stuff. I've simply put it into a system that people can really start to understand it now and make it clear to them. So that's the front end of the book is really the toxicity. And you have to have a certain level of knowledge to stay away from it and understand how you step out of that world. Your body is a magic machine. And I don't care who you are in the world. If you don't have your health, obviously, we've all heard this before, right? If you don't have your health, I'll tell you what, the rest of your life becomes a struggle. It becomes dull. And I just try to get people to prioritize their health. Be preemptive. Don't wait for it, right? I have a famous thing I say to my clients, and I say, anybody who's listening right now, your health and wellness will become your number one priority at some point in your life, whether you choose it or not. It's going to be
whether you choose it or not. It's coming.
Exactly, right? So, over the years, I've written so many programs. I've had so many, friends and family. How are you and Julie in such great shape? You must live in the gym. And it's not true. We don't live in the gym. And that is because of the knowledge we have on doing it right. So the payback is really fantastic if you know how to do this stuff right. Okay. So I've written so many, nutrition program, just little things where, and some of the business advisors that are clients of mine actually, have been yelling at me for years. You need to write a book. You have to get this stuff out into the public. So I finally, the COVID thing really hit us hard with the whole fitness world. Really hard. I actually lost a gym because it was impossible to keep people and to get them back in the gym. And so I sort of retooled what I was doing and decided at that point, you know what, I am going to go and write that book. So here we are, 19 months later.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. You know, a book is such a great way to really expand your reach and stuff. As our podcast and stuff. I mean, being able to expand your reach, get into different people, you know, to reach people that you may. I mean, there's people you'll never even know read your book, and so one day they'll just walk up to you and just be like, "Hey, how's it going, eh?" And you're just you changed my life, and you're like, "Really? I just wrote the book. I didn't."
Yeah.
Really mean to fuck up your life, but cool. It's a cool story there.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's an emotional driver of mine. My whole family, my 2 boys, love of my life, my wife, we live, you know, what we preach. And the 4 of us are, you know, at our age, I'll be 61 in 3 months. My wife is 62 in unbelievable shape. We don't really even think about it. We live it because we understand that's part of our life. And it doesn't take a million hours a week like a lot of people think. It takes the right knowledge and the right practices. And that's what the fitness quadrant is all about that I designed, my trademark system. It's a guide for people to understand the 4 major components of not just your fitness, but your trajectory. Where are you going? Where are you going to be in 5 or 10 years from now? And it's a way to understand the 4 big components. The first one is resistance training. Absolutely the king of fitness for many, many reasons. The second is nutrition, right? The 2x4s and nails of our body. The third one is cardiovascular strength. How do you incorporate that, and why would you incorporate a certain amount of it? And then the fourth one that most people don't really think about much is rest and recovery. There are periods that you have to tone down and let your body do the work to recover. So those 4 quadrants have huge drop-down lists underneath them. And this is how we onboard people and get them thinking a different way about fitness. And it's cool because, you know, I train a lot of doctors. I train a lot of professionals that travel the world. And even on their journey traveling, they're still sneaking in little workouts on the road that we write for them.
Nice.
And they keep the momentum going. And that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it really is all about, you know, how long and how well you can live.
The end of the day, how well and long you can live, and quality of life too. Like I've got a friend who's going through some really bad nerve damage, degradation, and it's really awful. And he works with his hands too, so it's even worse. It's a part of his life where, I mean, he's just a handyman. He'd do it all, fix it all sort of guy. And yeah, you know, his fight right now is for quality of life. I remember my one friend, he was he'd been in a car accident years before, and over like 10 years his spine had degenerated to where they were having to start fusing it, right? And once they start that, you know, it's just a bad ending. They end up fusing everything evidently. But I remember I said to him, I said, you know, you're really struggling, you know, with your cane, you're having trouble walking. Why don't you just get a wheelchair every now and then? And he goes, Chris, it's about quality of life. And I never heard the term before, quality of life, up until then. And he's like, you don't understand. As soon as I go into that wheelchair, I'm going to lose my muscles in my legs. And
that's right.
And then I'm going to, you know, I'm never getting out of that wheelchair. And I'm like, oh, okay. I never really thought of that. But so, you know, I think we're all kind of, I've reached that age where I'm fighting for quality of life. You know, dealing with health issues here and there, which are just hernias, self-induced hernias at the gym. Getting the surgery done later this month. But yeah, it's one of those things where you're just fighting sometimes. And, you know, I go to the gym. It's not about impressing other people anymore. It's not about any of that stuff. It's the boxing match of my life. As you say, I go there to regenerate health and build that skeletal muscles.
It's true. And it changes over time. Like the way, you know, I would train in my 20s or 30s, and my jujitsu and my fighting, you know, was much different than it is now at 60. So the 3 longevity markers that I deal with now, and I write about this in the book to shine light on it for people. The 3 longevity and quality of life markers. Number 1 is muscle mass. Number 2 is heart strength. And number 3 is metabolic strength. So those 3 topics right there, if you can get your head around understanding a strategy around those 3 things, that's why we've been so successful, is because we focus on those outcomes. And I write about those in the book, and the fitness quadrant is the answer to that. So it's you know, the outcome of one person is perhaps a little bit different than the other person, but it still comes down to these major components, and you can dial them up or dial them down. So you know, some of the pro athletes I've trained and written programs for, we use the fitness quadrant, but it's elevated in those different boxes. You know, more calories, more protein, all that sort of stuff. So you know, if you remember just a couple things, muscle is magic. It's the key to longevity. Think of muscle on your body as a furnace in your house, right? If you have a 20,000 BTU furnace and it's getting weaker every year, it's going to go down to a 10,000 BTU furnace, right? Just think about if you could replace that 20,000 BTU furnace with a 35,000 BTU furnace. It burns oil way more efficiently. It barely works to burn it, right? That's muscle. It's an economic engine for your ecosystem in your body. Higher metabolism, more strength, more flexibility, more mobility in your joints. These are the things that we want. I want more at my age, right? So my training has changed a little bit. We have mobility, you know, mobility modules, and we have mobility stuff we do during our training. But these are the things that people walk away and they're like, man, that workout was only 45 minutes, but it was done the right way. It was done the right way. So there's a big benefit. And here's also something that I really want people to hear as well. Here's the rub when it comes to resistance training. Resistance could be a dumbbell, it could be a barbell, it could be body weight, right? There's all different ways we can apply resistance to a muscle. Here's the rub. You have to have adequate resistance in order for the muscle to react, to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
So what you have is a problem coming if you don't understand biomechanics, which is exercise form, right? Because if you have to use adequate weight to trigger an adaptive remodeling of that muscle, you can't grab a 5-pound dumbbell and do 60 reps. That's not enough for the muscle to adapt. You need to be in a certain range, right around 8 to 16 reps, right? That's the adequate range. But if people do it incorrectly, they start hurting their joints. So that's where our system comes in play. And we have a huge biomechanic module and an onboarding that allows people to understand how you perform the movements properly. And once you get people past that, oh man, they are starting to really climb. No injuries, no setbacks in their training. So I have a woman that came to me at 83 years old. Overweight, knees are messed up, lower back. She's running the Boston Marathon next year. She's dropped about 38 pounds. She trains, and people in the gym are looking at her going, how old are you? You know, do you mind me asking your age? She's like, I'm 85 now. And she's like, I cannot believe the exercises you're doing. It's so cool. And that's like a little microscopic example of being able to train at a high level properly. And if you can do that, I'm telling you, your body will last for years because you're treating it. The inputs are proper to get the output that you're looking for.
I want that.
It's cool, man. It's really, really cool. And most of my clients are probably average age 60.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
And so is it the peptides that set the work that you're doing apart, or is it the combination of everything? Great
question. Great question. So you mentioned the magic word, a combination. So a lot of people, they have a misconception about fitness. I'm going to get fit, so I'm going to start running, or I'm going to start eating a lot of salads, or I'm going to really get some great supplements to really help me out. Look, it's a combination game. You can't just eat well and expect to get fit. You can't just eat supplements and get fit. It doesn't work that way. You can't just do resistance training and get fit. That's where the combination of 4 things comes into play. And once you fit them in the right way, that's when the body really starts to respond. So that's a great question. It's without a doubt resistance, nutrition, cardio, rest and recovery. Under the nutrition module, to answer your question, peptides are a very high level supplement. And they're really just coming onto the market over the last couple of years. People are starting to realize that they can have elevated growth hormone naturally. Think of peptides as triggers, as switches. So when you add them into your body, they're very targeted messengers. They tell the body to produce a little bit more testosterone. They tell the body to produce more growth hormone, right? So, and there's a whole myriad of peptides. We have them on our new website. We have a peptide page that people can read about. And the thing about it is you have to have a reliable source. And we point that out, where to get them, how to use them, all that sort of stuff. You don't want to get them from overseas. You got to get them from an ISO certified laboratory. Very, very important. But they're changing the game, and peptides can become a real strong part of an overall fitness game. There's no question. Yep.
Peptides, learning about peptides. So your average client is, what did you say, 60 years old?
Probably 60. Yeah, okay, late 50s, cool. 60. And there's a reason for it, as I'm sure you know. First of all, I do train younger teams, athletes, college athletes, but a bulk of my work is people 40 to 80 years old, 45 to 80, because that is the time when they start feeling their age a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
And they really need answers. And I ask them, what is your strategy to really push back on this stuff? Especially business executives that are really busy. They have to have efficiency built into the model. And that's what we do. But I find somebody that's 60 years old way more in tune with, oh my God, I've got to do something. I'm losing my strength. I'm losing my balance. I'm losing my metabolism. I'm gaining weight. What's going on? That's the time I tell people it's almost more important at that age to really get your head around a legitimate program. When we're 20, 25, we've all been there, right? The parties, you're doing your thing, you get injured, you bounce back in 3 days. Not anymore. So you have to have the right strategies to really have it play a role in your life story on your fitness journey. And that's, I write about that in the book.
It's important to change this thing. So years ago, I lost about 100 pounds. One of my, in 2016, I lost 100 pounds over 3.5 months. And I started intermittent fasting. I started changing my life. At the time I was drinking like 10 to 15 Mountain Dews a day. I was probably 45, 46. I was eating junk food all day long. I mean, I was eating out, fast food. I don't have a wife and kids, so I'm out having a great time on the restaurant front there, eating lots of that trans fat and fat food.
Oh yeah.
And, I just be like, hey, bring that bucket of grease you got in the back, and I'll just send a spoon.
It's so easy to get, isn't it?
And I just broke one day. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I read Penn Jillette's book, Presto, and there's a guy he references in it. He calls Ray Cronise. And Ray helped me lose all the weight. Well, one of the things Ray really pushed on me was, and well-meaning, was protein was a scam. You didn't really need protein to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. Well, you need protein for muscle.
Absolutely.
But at that time, what I probably should have done was have my testosterone checked. Now, when I had my testosterone checked 2 years ago, I actually had good testosterone. It was like 450 or something out of 800, 900 you want to be. But I didn't have any free testosterone. I literally had zero. I couldn't figure out why for 3 years I've been going to the gym and I couldn't make progress past a certain point. And it was because I just didn't have the extra shit and I was getting injured too. So, so about 6 months ago, maybe 8, I still struggle to lose more weight since then. And, so finally I saw a video on a gal on TikTok, and she's, I guess, a famous doctor. You may know her. She's kind of hot. She's hard to miss. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, she started talking about protein and muscle. What's the word I'm looking for? Muscle, bone marrow density, muscle, that sort of shit. And basically she insisted that, if you drink your, what is it, a gram of protein a day per ideal body weight,
Mm-hmm.
You can really elongate your life. And she had all these things about how, studies on how it can make a difference and fight cancer and all these other body complications. You die.
Totally.
And so finally, after years of resisting it and mucking around with it, I just said, okay, fuck it. I'm going to go all in on your stupid ass program of a gram a day
Mm-hmm.
per ideal body weight. And I'm 300, well, I was 300 pounds at the time, maybe 310, 20. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, fuck it. I'll try a little program.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about it for years. I've resisted it for years because Gregory told me not to do it. And so I did it. Now I've been working out for, I think, 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen progress last year and a half since I started testosterone therapy, and it's really kicked in a year and a half, man. I feel like 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but I started drinking the stuff. And you know what's funny is I've been going out to eat, like KFC. I used to get some chicken. I found
Mhm.
chicken really works with me. And I'll eat like shitty chicken, like a shitty something once a
Mhm.
day. It's not really fast food. I guess KFC would be fast food, but I'll go to a good burger place or something. But I drink protein shakes all day long. I drink about 5 to 6 protein shakes.
Yep.
And I drink a high quality protein from nakednutrition.com. I should
Mhm.
get a plug for that. And then I never scaled myself. I just kind of started this thing, and I just said, okay, I quit intermittent fasting, which I used to do, but it would stress me out with trying to lift weights.
Oh, yeah.
Intermittent fast, it was just killing me. And I got on my thing after, I think it was 8 months. I got on my maybe it was a year in July. I got on the scale and I'd lost 43 pounds
Mm-hmm.
eating shit food once a day, kind of fatty, drinking a Mountain Dew with it. But that was the only pop I have a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the time just eating fitness shakes, and then going to the gym, of course. And I finally somehow reached this point where now, because I give my body enough protein, I'm not a scientist, so don't start a cult, people. I don't know this for sure. But my theory is that by giving myself enough protein, I gave my muscles enough to build muscle and work on. And I finally, after 50 years, reached that point where my body was like, we're going to burn fat off of your muscle, and all you got to do is build muscle.
That's
And
exactly. Yep.
finally there.
You're exactly right. So
Yeah.
you have to think about, you're going to go build a new house. You have your crews there at the site, and you say, go ahead, guys, go start building. And they look at you and say, well, we don't have any 2x4s. We don't have any nails. We have windows and roofing, but how are we going to build?
How are we going to build this crap?
That's what I'm trying to teach people.
Yeah.
Protein, whole protein, not incomplete protein, whole proteins that you get from eggs and whey protein and red meat. Okay. Those are the 2x4s and nails. You have to have them in your system. And I go into that in the book. You have to get your protein right. So we do all the values for people, which it sounds like you're doing the same. But if you're not in a positive nitrogen balance, there's no way your body can stay in an anabolic state. It goes into a catabolic state. Okay. So part of that equation, and this is where people get confused over fitness. I'm going to go run 3 days a week, or I'm going to go to Planet Fitness, or wherever I go. I'm going to go get on that treadmill 30 days, blah, blah, blah. And they lead with that cardio, which is great. Cardio is for heart and lungs, the left ventricle wall, gets stronger, lowers your BPM, beats per minute, right? The heart actually can get strengthened. And we also can metabolize fat if we're at a certain heart rate zone while we do our cardio. That's also in the book, right? But here's the deal. Most people can't understand, I'm skinny fat. I've been on that damn treadmill for a year. I've lost, 18 pounds, but I look at myself in the mirror. I have no shape. Listen, there's something called gluconeogenesis, a goofy scientific word. Gluconeogenesis. What is it? This is when people do excessive spin classes or excessive cardio without any resistance training. Here's what happens. Their muscle mass starts to decrease. And here's why. They actually accelerate that through a process called gluconeogenesis, where in order for their body to keep performing the cardio work, they think they're working out, and they are, their cardiorespiratory system. But here's what happens. The body needs glycogen. It needs energy to run those cardio bouts. So when you don't have enough or you run out of it, your body starts to hunt for nutrient-dense tissue in the body, which is muscle. It breaks the muscle down, and it's after the amino acids in the muscle. It pulls it through your liver, and it turns it into glycogen to burn for cardio. So listen, muscle mass is one of the greatest markers. You cannot afford to lose it. But people lose it all the time through excessive cardio, right? They don't eat enough protein. They're not doing any resistance training the right way. So that is going opposite in the direction that people really want to go in. So that's what I say when in the book I talk about fake fitness. I'm not ragging on people. I'm just saying there's really incomplete, very low level stuff going on in the whole fitness world. And again, we opened up talking about gym memberships have improved, but so has disease and obesity, right? It's gone way sky high, right? It's because of toxic food and a lack of knowledge on really knowing how to do this stuff right. And that's what the book is all about. I save all the gobbledygook sciencey stuff to the end. I talk about it a little bit in the middle because I have to, but I leave it to the end so people can sort of thumb through and say, wow, that's what interleukin 10 does, or wow, that's what synovial fluid is in my joints. That's how I get looser in a bigger range of motion as I age. This is the stuff that really, really matters that nobody really talks about, including a lot of trainers, which I have a lot of trainer friends, but they have a certificate they got on the weekend to make themselves a certified trainer. I feel that's a huge problem in the whole industry because it's incomplete or complete misinformation that they're giving people. Not their fault. It's an industry thing. Whereas I was with PhDs for 5.5 years, showing me and really learning this stuff. And I got all the certifications. That's kind of window dressing. But the real stuff on how to take a human body and actually put it through a work week, not a lot. And then I developed the fitness quadrant, as we've talked about, to really help people understand those components and how they incorporate themselves. And I just really want to reach a lot of people to help people understand this stuff. It's a game changer for the person, for the family, for the community they live in, healthy and strong instead of sick and weak. And that's really the premise of the book,
Yeah. We all want to be healthy and strong, and it's made such a difference. I think between me working out and me trying to intermittent fast was just killing me. I mean, it was just killing me. I'd have 1 or 2 protein drinks a day, but and it is a bit hard to consume 5 or 6 of the
sure it
things. I've really learned hard, but I've also got a really good thing down now. I mean, I've posted a few times my last a couple Instacarts of grocery deliveries, and people like shit their pants because it's like it's chicken for me, and then there's beef for the dog. The dog gets beef.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's pretty spoiled. Let's put it that way. And then everything else is fruits and vegetables. Like literally, it's mostly fruits, like raw fruits. Right now, fruits are really big with what's going on with this is season. But and that's really it. I learned a long time ago from Cray Ray and the book Presto with whatchamacallit. If it's in your house, it's in your mouth. So
absolutely.
if you get hungry, you'll find that fucker in the back of the
Oh,
cabinet.
you will devour whatever in front of you, right? So that's a great point. You can't be, tempted, because when we get hungry, man, it's over.
You get that. And I've played that Faustian bargain bullshit game we all play with ourselves at the store. I'll get the half cans of the Coke and bring them home, and I promise myself I'll only drink one a day. And then you drink half a can and you're like, God, I'm used the whole can. You're like, just today I'll just sneak one more, and then technically you're at a whole can now. And then you're like, they're kind of small. I'll just have one more, and then that whole fucking thing's gone in one day.
Oh, it slaps you, man. It gets after you, and the thing about it, it's incremental. It's an invisible assassin. I say that in my book, and all of a sudden, what the hell happened? It's habit forming, and you kind of let it slip through because it was just one. It's the whole thing. We're talking about that issue of being in the right conditions, and that not only is I talk about this in my book about friends. If you are with groups of friends that really don't give a shit, and they're out drinking and they're partying and they're not going to work out and they're getting the pizza at 11 at night. But it's not that you have to get rid of those friends, but I talk in the book, I say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And I talk about maybe form a little bit of a posse, 1 or 2 or 3, women or guys that want to get to the gym a couple days a week and start following a program. Now that's positive. You can move the needle if you're in the right conditions, but you're right. It goes for the house as well. Get rid of the Doritos, get rid of the soda, all the fake sugar. I call those the 4 dark horsemen in my book. And I talk about the home of the 4 dark horsemen, which is Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nestle. You wouldn't believe the amount of stuff when you really look at it. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of products that you see in the bad aisles of the stores, you see in the gas stations that you pull up to when you're on a trip, and it's just rows and rows of crap, and it's killing America. It really is. So it's just becoming aware of it, and that's the first thing, as I said, that you have to get right. You got to get rid of the toxic shit, but it's knowledge based. The more knowledge you have, now it's up to you. You can start making those good decisions. So let's get the country, man. I just am dying for people to really lock in and start to understand this stuff better. And then practice it. It makes a difference,
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. And you want to start earlier, man. I waited till 40, 50 to clean my action up. I quit drinking at COVID. So almost 51, 52, I quit drinking. Best thing I ever decided to do with my life. I mean, I feel so much better. It's getting rid of drinking. Jesus, I wish I would have gotten rid of that sooner. It was breaking my brain. But drinking the pop and stuff. But yeah, if it's kind of funny. I know I'm lazy by nature because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't want to work as hard as I see people.
Amen, man.
Walmart. Yeah, I see those folks at Walmart and all the shit they have to remember and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is why you need to work harder. And because it's way harder to work at Walmart and other places and KFC and stuff than it is to work for me. And but that's because my OnlyFans sells really well. No, it doesn't.
Good for you. Anyway, man.
We were joking about that yesterday. But I don't know what my point was. I told too many segue jokes and got lost. But basically, it's. I wish I'd cleaned up my act earlier. And alcohol, getting rid of alcohol, getting rid of fat, high fats, and just the thing I started to say was about that point, that Cray raised point of if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. You can really gamify that. So I'm lazy by nature. So if I don't bring it home, I'll be sitting around the house and I get a craving. I'll be like, I'd like a Coke, I like some Doritos, Coke and Doritos, and the 7-Eleven treat.
That's right.
So I'll be sitting around the house and go, God, I wish there was some here. No, there's not in here. Well, if it was, it'd be in my mouth right now, but it's not. But I really want a Coke, but I'm also really lazy. So
that's when lazy's good.
yeah, this is how I use laziness. This is my next
Attaboy.
book coming out. How to use laziness to get ahead in life.
Be lazy and get fit.
Be lazy as fuck, and you're a winner. But yeah, and I'm too lazy. I just won't go do it. I'll just like, I'm not gonna go there for a fucking Coke. I'll be fine. You'll be fine, stupid. You're just fine, idiot boy. You don't need a Coke. And and then then I'm just like, whatever.
Just time goes by, and
yeah. I did the same thing with booze. If I ran out of booze, my friends would be like, you do drink heavy, and I'm like, well, I do have a high tolerance, and I'm 350 pounds at the time, and I have a very high tolerance to everything, and which kept me out of trouble. But I drink a lot of booze, and I was abused. I abused myself with booze, but I wasn't an addict. And my friends would be like, "You're an addict." I'm like, "No, I'm too lazy. If I run out of booze, I'm too lazy to go buy some." It's like, I'll just go tomorrow. I'm not going to mess with it. And it's good to be free of that. But no, you're right. It's increasing the protein and working out has changed my life. I've been able to put on more muscle, build it.
That's the key.
Yeah. It's really
one of the keys is muscle. I can't stress it enough. And muscle is gained by resistance training. It's not gained just by good nutrition. There's no trigger. You have to train resistance wise to trigger the muscle to adapt to that stress. And then you have to feed it. You got to feed it the right protein. And if you do that, if you start to understand how to put that stuff together, man, it literally changes your trajectory. Your energy levels up. You're moving better. You look better, and that's just real world stuff, man. If you can do that and keep on that track, teach your kids about it. That's one thing that pisses me off is they don't teach any of this stuff in school. No nutrition, none of it. I know the whole White House Trump team and RFK, they're making some new rules, which was great to see. I'm like, at least they're trying to make a play on kids being aware and have some type of program that at an early age they get off their goddamn phones, they stop eating the sodas and the energy drinks and the friggin' I mean, it's a disaster. That's the real weapons of mass destruction, is what I call it in my book. All that junk food.
Weapons of mass.
That's what I call it.
Weapons of mass colon destruction.
And everybody wonders why there's all these pharmaceuticals and oh my God, this one's having that surgery and that one. It's crazy. It's actually crazy when you really drill down to think about it. And it's big profit, man, for those companies. They've got to style in with those dopamine hits. And, and the how they chemically, especially in fast food, they chemically induce. That dopamine and those other chemicals. It's you're basically if you're putting back quarter pounders, you're now I'm hungry. It must be lunchtime thereafter. But don't do the Big Macs, people. But if you're basically eating those things, you're basically just getting, that's why you feel so hungry after, is because it didn't really give you any nutrition. Empty.
You just basically empty. Franken meat.
It's
and,
all Yep.
And then it's just designed to give you that dopamine hit that you get from like an opiate. If you take opiates or any other drug, it's designed to hook you. It's a drug, really.
It is, and they're real good. They're real good at it. And you're talking billions and billions of dollars these companies make. You don't think they have those technical departments that are designing those chemical laden foods, man? You want another one. You just see the yellow arches, and if you're hungry, oh man, it's like a magnet, right? So break out of the norm, break out of the herd, man, and start your own ecosystem, doing this stuff right. I can't stress enough how important it is for people so they can live longer, a much, much better life. And we all get busy. I always tell people life gets there's so many distractions, as we know, from Netflix to social media, right? Our jobs, and we're trying to, get ahead. But most people will half do fitness. They don't really do it the right way. They go through the motions. Unfortunately, I see it all the time in the gym. Same person. I've seen them for 10 years doing the same thing. No changes, right? So you can't half do it. You wouldn't half paint your house or half mow your lawn, right? Why would you take the biggest, best asset that you'll ever have and half do it? Learn it the right way and do it. It's really remarkable what the human body can adapt and move into. So
yeah, it is, and even heal. So how soon will your book be up on Amazon?
I am told by my publisher it's mid-September is about the timeline. It's almost done right now. It's just going through the last formatting and all that sort of stuff. It's a little late because we added some things to it, and we really screened out some other stuff to make it a real user-friendly book for the reader. So I'd say mid-September. If not that, no question by the end of September.
And people can sign up on your website to get a notice and stuff, right?
They can. They can. Yeah, they can always get in touch with us through our website. I really would love people to go on and just peruse it. It's got a lot of great stuff on it. They can always email us, and we're very friendly. Just ask us any questions you have. We'll get back to you. One of those things. We're here to really help people and hopefully pull them into a direction that we can really make a difference in their life, no matter who they are. Politician, Hollywood actor, it doesn't matter. I don't care who they are. We can really make a difference, and that's what we're striving to do. And we love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, we certainly appreciate having you on the show and enlightening us there, Timothy. You've inspired us all to eat better and do better, or else.
Thank you. Thank you.
Me and Timothy will come over to your house.
That's right.
It's like what was that Christmas Carol story? Timmy. Tiny Timmy. So me and Tim will come over to your house if you don't eat better, folks. Don't make us don't pull the car over and come back there. So
We're
thank you very
spy
much.
on them first, though. We're going to spy on them first.
Give us the title of the book as we go out and your .coms.
It's called The Goat Within. It'll be on Amazon mid to late September. Our website is fitnessquadrant.net. And we are also developing a really cool community on a platform called School, SKOOL.com, school.com/lifestrong. We're embedding a lot of free information there. We also have a little inexpensive membership where we really help people understand how to train. School.com/lifestrong, where that's in development now. It'll be live probably in a week or two. But that's another great one. We're going to really put some energy into that. But the website's fantastic, and it would just be great to have people get on there and check it out.
It's good too, because building community is really important for these sort of things. You know, when people see other people doing it, they're like, "Hey, I can do it too." It's not that hard if other people can do it. So thank you very much, Timothy, for coming to the show. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Been my pleasure. Thanks so much, Chris.
And thanks for audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok, and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time. And that should have us out.